Oh yeah.
Each year in the Nigerian music industry, a new artist arises. Just as we have Ashake of YBNL dominated half of year 2021 and all year round of 2022. We have a new guy in the block where he's been on underdog for quite some times now. His name goes by Odumodublvck. Odumodublvck is an Abuja-based artist, and his style is entirely different from the regular Afro beats or Afro R&B or Afro depression or Afro swing, Afro whatever you guys might have had in the past couple of years that you've been jamming music. Now we should note that this is the rise of Odumodublvck. Let's get the details. Now Odumodublvck, who has been an underdog for very, very long time, he has really put in the work, and is really getting applause from several folks, including the top dogs and celebrities in Nigeria at the moment. In fact, he already claimed the #1 spot on the Spotify Nigeria and Apple Music Nigeria. Even he's been recognized by Audiomack and Boomplay at the moment. Who are we talking about? Odumodublvck, the Abuja-based artist. Now let's go way back to when Odumodu actually started. Odumodu has been in the game for quite some time now. Your lot might not actually know about this guy, but several years ago I was even put on by some of my friends to new sounds, which includes Alte music, and that was how I actually came about Odumodublvck. And I've been, I'm not a big fan back then, but of course from time to time I jam his songs. But if you haven't heard of Odumodublvck, it is either you are not Nigerian, you are not in the music space or in Nigeria or Africa at the moment, or you haven't heard of words like Picanto, Ebelebe Stoner. You haven't heard of these words, you haven't heard of Odumodublvck. You go, come on now. You are not on social media, you're not on Twitter, you're not on Instagram. Even WhatsApp guys are, clamoring for this guy. Like, some definitely are really fucking with his sound, and some are not actually having it. Now, this guy, he's been an underdog for a very long time. But let's take it from year 2022. Year 2022, he got signed to a record label known as Native Record. Now, before he became the first signee of Native Record, he dropped an EP February year 2022 that consists of, we have about 9 songs on this on the song, and it featured a guy known as Madaki. The title of the EP is called The Drop. Now fast forward to almost the ending of year 2022, he released he was signed to a record label, the Native Records, and ever since then his moves have been different. Now, before he was signed, he attended some shows, he made some moves, he met the likes of, Black Bones. In fact, Black Bones actually invited Odumodublvck to his show in Lagos, and it was such a crazy one. He performed at Jameson concert in Abuja. He has had several link-ups. In fact, he met with the Ghanaian, artist Amari, and Amari also actually have one or two things to say about him, and it was really a really nice one. Of course, in Lagos, Nigeria, he met with Pato. We all know Pato Rankin. In fact, Pato Rankin gave him a drink, a very expensive Chemfidich drink. And of course, we should note that these guys link up with all these folks have actually prompted him to, of course, one or two supports from those guys have brought him this far, of course, with his own efforts too, because he's always putting his sound to our faces. Come on, guy. This guy doesn't sleep. He doesn't relent for nothing. You get me? And also, he featured an artist. He featured a Chocolate City artist, Candy Blix, on a song, and this song actually spoke about Nigerian politics. The title of the song is called Vex. It's called Vex, and he shot a music video. The video was really you can see them waving flags and stuff. And this guy has dropped songs over the past couple of years. In fact, he dropped Picanto not quite long after he was signed to Native Record. He dropped Picanto late last year, and he even bought a Picanto Kia ride just to commemorate the song that he released, and after that he dropped the verse for Psycho YP, an Abuja-based rapper, and his verse actually went hard on that song. And now you must have been hearing Declan Rice. Now this song was inspired by a football player, in West Ham United, and Declan Rice. Even before the release of this song, it has been making waves on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on the release of this song, this song actually went to number one straight up by the support of the likes of Don Jazzy, Davido. We have Zlatan. In fact, Wizkid posted Picanto featuring Zlatan and one other guy on his story, and immediately Wizkid actually posted. I'm not saying Wizkid is the brain behind this guy going bonkers, but all these guys following him, reposting him, actually would entice and make their fans and followers across the country, across the world, to check who is my idol posting on his Instagram story, who is my idol following on Twitter. They would definitely check him out and his sound. And of course, this actually prompted Declan Rice to actually be on the number one spot in Nigerian Apple Music and Nigerian Spotify, displacing Party No Dey Stop by Adekunle Gold and Zinoliski. And of course, they thought they would actually be on that number one spot for quite some time, but unfortunately Odumodublvck actually had to step in and displace them on some ebelebe stunner level. Declan Rice, we're talking right about now. Even the first 10 songs on Apple Music Nigeria, this dude actually have 2 songs on the top 10 Nigeria. Really, really crazy. I'm telling you guys, he has Declan Rice on number 1 spot, and he has Picanto on number 8 spot in the Apple Music Nigeria. This is a very, very tough nut to crack. An artist, an underdog that just rose to prominence, dominating the chart like that. Being on the number 1 spot, having 2 songs in top 10 is no joke, my brother. When you are not Ashake dominating the Nigerian, Apple Music, top 10, of course. And Declan Rice is sung by Odumodublvck, and of course this is the rise of Odumodublvck. This guy has come a long way. He's actually bagging all his efforts. Even when Don Jazzy followed this guy, Don Jazzy made a statement that he loves when someone actually works hard. And of course, if you check the Psycho YP's page on Twitter, on Instagram, you would see that this guy has actually put in the work. He has really, really worked his ass off. You can see that his page is steady busy, steady making moves, steady linking up, steady dropping stuffs, back to back to back to back to back. The only person I know that hasn't really spoken much about Odumodublvck is Olamide. Out of all the 5 top dogs we have in Nigeria, Burna Boy hasn't made a remark, but Wizkid has, Davido has, Don Jazzy has, Pato Rankin has, Zlatan dropped the verse for him. This actually implies the fact that this guy is really, really going bonkers. Who knows, maybe 2023 would be a year for Odumodublvck. And of course, Ashake is, nowhere to be found at the moment. He's currently busy in Mexico recording and probably another album after the release of Yoga. And, maybe Odumodublvck owns year 2023 in the Nigerian music industry, or maybe his rise would be just like Slim Case, who just came to prominence within just 6, 7, 8 months, and is nowhere to be found. Well, we sit back and relax and see how things unfold concerning Declan Rice, Picanto, Krona. That is Odumodublvck, the native record signee. And of course, that's that about that. This is Nigerian Entertainment Update, your best plug for gist, news, trending, celebrity gossips. You know what time it is. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notification bell.